The traveller sees what he sees, the tourist sees what he came to see, said the famous British author G.K. Chesterton. Welcome to my channel Exquisite Life, and this is Exploring Tasmania Part 3. We pick up our adventure today on day 3 of my Tasmanian trip, where we head down to the western coastal town of Strahan. It was a cold, rainy morning, and I was heading off with indescribable memories of Cradle Mountain. I left Cradle Mountain and started driving southwest with the words of G.K. Chesterton on my mind. I was intent on being a traveller and not a tourist. I simply pointed the car in the direction of Strahan, and I would see what I see along the way.
I headed out this morning from the Cradle Mountain Lodge, and on my way to Strahan, just stopped along the road here. It's been raining this morning, and you just get a sense of how remote this place is. I haven't seen a car for a while, and it's just endless bush. It just really gives you a sense of how old this place is being here, and it's so untouched. Like, there'll be parts of this area where I'm at, just walk a few meters and no one would have ever walked there before, probably. It's just incredible, the landscape.
My entire trip to Strahan was an exercise in immersing myself in the remoteness and immensity of nature as I explored Strahan and its surrounds. Strahan is located approximately 140 kilometres to the southwest of Cradle Mountain on the famed Tasmanian west coast. I was in roughly for a 2-hour drive along spectacular mountain and coastal roads. Here is some footage from my travels from Cradle Mountain to Strahan. The philosopher and emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius, once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." As you can see, I was carving my way through the mountain roads, oftentimes not seeing another human being for kilometers. I can vividly recall the serenity and sense of awe I experienced that morning as I drove to Strahan. I had the privilege to drive through misty mountain roads, lush rainforests, reflecting on life, and I can definitively point to this moment in time as the metamorphosis of exquisite life from an idea to a reality in the form of my YouTube channel. I wanted to share the incredible experiences I had with all of you. I wanted to seize and capture the uniqueness of life each one of us experiences and present it to you as my fellow travelers on this journey of life. My first stop on my drive to Strahan was a town called Rosebery, a quaint town enveloped by rainforests and dramatic mountain peaks, which are a draw card for bushwalkers and mountain bikers. After a short stop, I was on my way again. Along the way, I came across Montezuma Falls. I decided to take a detour and see what I could see. It's a towering waterfall measuring 104 meters. It's the largest in Tasmania. The falls are aptly named after the renowned Aztec Emperor Montezuma because of their grandeur. There is a walking track, which is what you're seeing on screen, that will take you to the base of the falls, but it's a 3-hour, 11.5k round trip. Unfortunately, on the day that I went there, due to the immense rainfall, the track was actually closed and I couldn't trek to the base of the falls. It was mid-afternoon on day 3 of my Tasmanian trip, and I finally made it to the Tasmanian west coast and the remote but strikingly beautiful town of Strawn. Strawn is a small village located on the west coast of Tasmania, on the Macquarie Harbour. It was founded in 1877 as an integral part for the tin mining operations in the area. The village is named after Major George Strawn, who was the governor of Tasmania at the time. The town became official in 1892 and soon arose to be the second busiest port in Tasmania on account of the mining boom. Shortly after arriving in Strawn, I decided to check into my hotel. I stayed at the Strawn Village, an expansive and centrally located hotel right on the harbour. It comprises of individual cottages and terraces, harking back to a time when Strawn was inhabited by miners and fishermen. This is a perfect home base for travellers wishing to embark on the popular river cruises in the area or simply stroll around town. Strawn Village has an on-site restaurant with arguably the best view of the harbour. View 42 Degrees is a great place to check out, and I really enjoyed my time there. Now let's check out my room. After settling in, I went for a walk along the harbour foreshore. I was intent on making the most of the daylight. Along my walk, I discovered a proper walking trail into the rainforest, and I simply had to. I had stumbled into a rainforest with the usual suspects all around like the ferns, but also a host of unique flora I had never seen. A true testament to the wild and remote nature of Tasmania. Look at the size of those trees. These were, without a doubt, the tallest trees I had ever seen in my life. At the end of my walk, which was about a 40-minute round trip, I was rewarded with an amazing waterfall, and I was able to get some incredible pictures. From the thunderous crash of the waterfall to the symphony of bird calls, this was an afternoon of juxtaposition. I went back to my hotel and got ready for dinner. I had scoped out a beautiful fine dining restaurant right on the harbour. Risby Cove is a boutique hotel and restaurant. With its stunning views and an ever-changing, vibrant menu, I was really excited to try their food. For entree, I ordered the Tasmanian scallops. They were tastefully presented in half the shell and were topped with a medley of flavours including butter, herb and cured meats. The scallops were so sweet. For mains, I had the seafood pasta. The amalgamation of flavours from the prawns and the fish was incredible, and I actually was hoping to have more. And lastly, for dessert, I had the burnt cheesecake with ice cream and berry compote. The cake was freshly baked and had a soft and moist texture. It was super delicious. After dinner, I decided to explore Strawn, and while driving around, I stumbled onto the highlight of my trip to Strawn. I discovered Ocean Beach, and it was almost 8 p.m. and the beach was empty and I had the whole place to myself. I was completely smitten by the beauty of the ocean and overwhelmed by the fact that I was looking out onto open ocean. There is nothing out there directly west till you hit the coast of Africa. Even the word endless feels inadequate to describe how much ocean lies in front of me. I watched the sunset and I felt like I was the only person on the planet. It was a surreal experience and one that I will never forget. I made my way back to my hotel and went to sleep, completely overwhelmed with what I had seen. I woke up early next morning, did one last lap of the town, and headed out on my road trip back up the western coast of Tasmania. I came across some incredible scenery. I had been to some remote places on my trip so far, but the next leg of my journey will give the word remote a whole new meaning. Join me on my adventure in part 4 of Exploring Tasmania in the next video. Please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel, Exquisite Life.